If you can get him on a 3 or 4 year deal, I think it's a good deal for the Suns, good deal for Royce. I don't expect there to be much of a hold up with this. This is going to get worked out.
With these rules, that means we are officially on Royce O'Neale watch, everybody.
Tantalizing.
I know.
Titillating.
But here's the thing. Royce O'Neale is one of the only and best path forward for the Suns, not only because he was good for this squad, but for some flexibility in the future, like we've talked about. Mm-hmm. How are you guys feeling about where we're getting numbers from Royce O'Neale? I know John Hollinger suggested 4 years, $55 million. Mm-hmm. What are you guys kind of thinking as of this point?
That number seems a little steep, but we've said this the last time we talked about Royce O'Neale. I wrote about it a few weeks back. If you weren't here for that, the reason that the number might be more than you're expecting is because he has all the leverage. And if they let Royce O'Neale walk, they're not getting any of that cap room by letting him walk. So all they would have are vet minimums to replace him. You're not going to replace a guy like Royce O'Neale with vet minimum deals. So you need to re-sign him, even if it's just for trade flexibility down the road. So that way you can potentially move him for a contract in the mid-level range in the future. Remember, the Suns cannot take back more money in a trade than they send out either as a second tax apron team. So if they structure his deal around, 3 years, 40 million, something like that, or even 4 years in the 11 to $13 million range, don't be surprised by that, because that's probably what his value is on the open market. And it makes sense to kind of bring him back at that price range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I listen, I think he's a mid-level guy. Mm-hmm. That's what he is. Mm-hmm. If you can get him on a 3 or 4 year deal, I think it's a good deal for the Suns, good deal for Royce. I don't expect there to be much of a hold up with this. This is going to get worked out. Royce O'Neale is going to be a Phoenix Sun. Everybody knows it. We can't afford to lose him. I think he likes being here. I think it's a good fit. They'll meet in the middle, find a good ground, and we'll move on from this.
I know this will never happen, but I'm in the 2 year, $44 million. Just give him it all now. Trade him next year for a guy that makes 22, or trade him at the deadline. But obviously, you don't have enough sweetener to get somebody to take Royce O'Neale at $22 million, and circumvent this new second apron that way. But I think you guys are right. It's probably 3-4 years in that range, money wise, like you're talking about. But you have to do it, right? Like you said, Gerald. There's no way you're getting a guy that does what he does if he walks, right? You're going to be trying to get a guy that does similar things to him at a lesser skill set, probably at an older age, for a vet minimum. So just pay him what he wants, get him in here for the next few years, and figure out things in the future, because you don't have options. And if you're all in, like it seems they are, you're going to have them.
Okay, Mike from Mesa asked a good question in the chat. We're talking about potentially overpaying Royce O'Neale a little bit for some trade flexibility down the road, and also because we want him back on the roster and he has all the leverage here. But Mike said, how do you trade someone who's overpriced?
Royce wouldn't be overpriced. Royce is absolutely a mid-level exception level player. That's what he would get on the open market, as well as probably here. That's not overpriced. Like the new NBA, the salary cap is going up year by year. The new TV deal is going to kick in. $11, $12, $13 million a year for a player is the going rate for two-way wings in this league, whether they're starting or coming off the bench, and it's going to look like peanuts in a few years anyway. So if all it really costs is Matt Ishbia some luxury tax money, it's not overpriced, and that's pretty easily tradable or movable to some other team down the line.
Yeah. Well, and even if you pay him slightly more than what his perceived value is, and you include some kind of draft compensation if you're getting a slightly better player, fine. There's ways around it, but it certainly gives you some additional opportunities here. By the way, to whoever asked, yes, I'm okay with cheating. I think it was somebody from Mesa, Mike from Mesa. Yeah, why not? Nothing else has worked in the last 57 years. So, if you ain't cheating, you ain't winning is what I've been hearing here. I also love that Mike from Mesa has Jesus as his avatar while I'm saying, yeah, let's cheat. Go ahead, right?
There we go.
I
man.
mean, honestly, you're going to try and tell me that 29 other teams aren't low-key cheating at points in times throughout
They all do
their
this.
Man,
tenure?
they all
Sports is
do
cheating.
this.
Exactly.
They all do this. Yeah, they just
Exactly.
Don't
just
get
playing the
caught.
game. Just don't get caught.
Don't get caught.
Play the game.
I also like Raymond, who says Espo for president. Hey, got to cheat there, too, to get up in politics. So why not? By the way, hi, Eli. Hi, guest and Wow Factor and Jason Lee.
And hey, Dot.
And Brian. Timothy, I'm not saying hi to you with what you've been throwing around there. Darth Voida in the chat. Yes, we do have the best hair.
Ogre.
And Mike, and welcome. And please become a diehard. You guys support the program in the chat. We love to have you support the program on the website. Go PHNX.com.